Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now listen, man, you could tap in or you could tap out. But you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now you already know time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money, and chasing that paper, stacking that cheese, that cheddar, and that mozzarella. But always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex. That time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's, at all times. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Now, big salute to all my day one investors, man. Everybody that's highly invested in the channel, everybody that understands that we are growing this channel organically, constant elevation. Yeah, we on our way to the top, well over 60,000 subscribers, and we on our way to 70K. All right. Even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new subscribers, all my new investors, man. Everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV, is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. All right. Now listen, man, do me a favor. Wipe off your feet before you step into the big house. You understand me? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV, is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You know how I'm giving it up, and you absolutely know how I'm putting it down, my G's. All right. You could like it or love it, but I'm gonna make you love this. All right, big salute, man. All right, now I got a lot of people in the DM right now. Yo, Big G and BTV, what's your thought process on everything that's going down with Charleston White? Yo, Big G and BTV, what's your perspective on everything that's taking place with CW Charleston White? And I gotta say, man, you know what? Absolutely nasty work. All right, it's absolutely nasty work that the message that Charleston White is trying to deliver is going over a lot of people's heads and under a lot of people's bridges. And we're gonna have a conversation about that tonight. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to the chat, big salute to everybody in the DM. Um, we had a situation with the channel. Yeah, we might speak about that, but we had a situation with the channel where I wasn't able to go live. I wasn't able to access my live stream. You understand what I'm saying? And that's due to the potent content here at Grown Man Business TV. That's due to us talking about the higher ups and the elites, exposing the hypocrisy, exposing the matrix, and exposing the system. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, they can't stop the truth. They can't stop the truth. And we're going to talk about Charleston White. I want to speak to this situation that everybody's locked in, but I want to make sure that y'all understand we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. And the higher ups and elites are working overtime. Yeah, they working overtime. And we might dig into that towards the end of this live stream. I'm not staying long. I got a flight to catch in the morning. But I want to let y'all know something. They are in the workings, right, to changing certain rules and regulations in these YouTube streets. Being as though people like myself, truth tellers, like Grown Man Business TV, and a few others, right? Being as though we have figured out how to penetrate the algorithm, how to get our point across and articulate ourselves on a certain level that doesn't, it doesn't shake up the algorithm. It's not certain words that's a red flag for the algorithm. Being as though we figured out a way to get around it, they're working overtime. And I'm gonna just say that, my G's. Yeah, we didn't go nowhere. This wasn't by choice. All right, is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. All right, big salute to the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button. Make sure y'all are hyping up these live streams. Make sure y'all are doing that. I'm not telling you to like this for no reason. I'm not telling you to subscribe for no reason. What you got to understand is the more you engage with the channel, the more they can't stop the message. All right, so we're going to get into this. Y'all already know before we go any further, right? I got to do some customizations to the chat. Absolutely. Being as though we ain't in the algorithm, we going to force our way back into the algorithm. We ain't going nowhere. So I'm going to do some customizations to the chat. You already know the higher ups and the elites are always playing chess at the highest level. The higher ups and the elites are always trying to muffle the message and shadow ban the channel. The higher ups and the elites understand that Grown Man Business TV is an absolute threat to the establishment. And not only am I a threat to the establishment, but the revolution will be televised right here in these YouTube streets. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You could like it or love it, and I'm going to make you love it. All right, so big salute to the chat, man. Let's get into this. Breezy Santana, I see you in here. You know what I mean? Big salute to my wrenches. We back in action. They can't stop. They can't stop us now. Understand that. I'm gonna make sure of that. I'm gonna make sure that they don't have nothing, no ammunition to play with the channel, but they do have tricks up their sleeves. They're finding out new ways to regulate what we talk about, new ways to suppress the message. They're finding out new ways to stop the truth, and they're working overtime. So we're gonna have this conversation. CW has some choice words for black men, right? And we're gonna talk about that because it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. And CW with this particular message, if you ask me, is he's making a sharp left turn. A sharp left turn that can be detrimental. It could be damaging. It could be dangerous. All right. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about that. Salute to Charleston White for this message. Salute to Charleston White for trying new innovative ways of getting the message across. I gotta salute CW for that. We're gonna have this conversation. Big salute to the chat, man. We're not gonna stay long. We got some things to do, but we are back in the algorithm. Understand something. We are back. We ain't went nowhere. You understand me? Yeah, yeah. Big salute, big salute. Now listen, you see that right there at the bottom of it. You see that right there at the bottom of the chat, right here. Right here at the bottom of the chat. Before you get in here with your Twitter fingers, using your Twitter fingers all in the comment section, doing the extra Twittering with your Twitter fingers all in the comment section, all the Twittering, all the extra Twitter fingering in the comment section with your Twitter fingers. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear. Every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You know how I'm giving it up, and you absolutely know how I'm putting it down, my G's. You can like it or love it, but guaranteed, I'm going to make you love this. Yeah, I'm going to make you love it. All right? Big salute to the chat. Do what y'all supposed to do when y'all come in here. Don't forget to do that. Now, Charleston White had choice words for black men. He went on a recent podcast. He's doing his social media run as he always does, and he had choice words for black men, right? And these words went viral. I mean, it was a whole live stream, a whole podcast, over an hour worth of content. But this particular, portion went viral. And I got a lot of people in the DMs. I got a lot of people reaching out. Yo, GMB TV, we want you to speak to this. Yo, GMB TV, we want you to talk to this. And, I took my time and I went over this content, right? And, the downloads begin to download. It really resonated with me. And I see that a lot of people don't understand, or the message went over a lot of people's head and under a lot of people's bridges. But because it's such a powerful message, but because it was a strong, potent message, I want to elaborate on it. And I want to give y'all some context, because see, a lot of the times it's not about what's being said. It's about how you're saying it. It's not about what you're saying. It's really more of how are you saying it? How are you delivering this? And see, CW, you know, he got an abstract way of delivering the message. All right, so big salute to the chat, and we're gonna speak to that. I want to speak to it because just like everybody else in the beginning, I was very locked into Charleston White and the content. When he was doing the whole nigga nation situation, when he would go in his house and he would show them guns off, and he was talking crazy about all these different cultures and races of people. I was really locked into Charleston, but I remember when Charleston White walked through the door. I remember when Charleston White made the conscious decision to sit down with Aiden Ross, to double back on the things he was saying about these other cultures and about these other races. I remember that. And a lot of that, it still stands, right? But I want to kind of get some context to that before we get into the message. I remember when Charleston White started saying, "This is a character. This is not me. This is a character." And I was one of the content creators that didn't really take to that. I didn't really like how Charleston White was trying to put the blame on a character. You understand what I'm saying? Because most of the men that talk like Charleston, and it's a lot of them where I'm from, old head, older black men that speak the truth, that give you that game, that's gonna tell you some, they're gonna drop some game on the ground for the hungry hounds. Most of the men in our culture that talk like that, they don't take on a character. They don't take on a character so that they don't have to take accountability for the things that they say and the things that they do. So when Charleston White did that, I lost a certain amount of respect for him as a man, for not standing on business, not standing on his words, not taking accountability for his words and his actions, right? But over time, I began to understand what Charleston White is doing. And I began to respect the angles that he's taking to deliver the message. Now, again, before we get into these receipts, because we don't go nowhere without the receipts. We don't step out the house without the receipts. I got the receipts. Before we get into the receipts, I want to kind of elaborate on that. Charleston White will say the most outlandish things and then turn around and say, this is a character. I'm a comedian. You can't blame me for what the character is saying. You can't blame me for what the comedian is doing. This is comedic. This is comedy, right? And over time, I was able to kind of connect the dots, and I said, you know, those people, them dog fur having people, the higher ups and the elite's been doing that same method for a long time. Well, they will put something out there, something derogatory, something that is inhumane. They will put it out there, and then if it's any backlash, they'll blame it on the character. They'll blame it on the movie. They'll blame it on science fiction. Let's go a little bit deeper into that, because I want to give y'all some insight on what Charleston White is doing. When I was growing up, they had a movie called Freddy Krueger. Y'all all remember Freddy Krueger, I'm sure. We all know about Freddy. You know, the guy with the burnt up face, right? With the fingernails, with the knives and all that. Freddy Krueger, the moral of Freddy Krueger, the narrative, right? The story behind it is that Freddy was a pedophile. Freddie was the neighborhood pedophile, and he would violate the babies. And he was doing it and doing it. And in due time, the neighborhood found out that Freddie was getting those youngsters in the basement and violating them. So what they did was they locked Freddy Krueger in the basement, they lit the house on fire, and they burned up Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger came back as a monster that would violate the babies in their dreams instead of physical. He would violate their nightmares. Okay? Now, if we was to ever just sit and think about that and say, who came up with that movie? It sounds real Epsteinish. You know, Freddy Krueger, a pedophile that got burned up in the house. Who thought of that? Whose sick mind would think of something like that? Guess what? They don't have to take accountability. They could say, man, that's a character. It's just a movie. It's not real. Don't take that serious. It's a movie. It's a horror movie. It's just a character. You see what I'm saying? So nobody has to take accountability for creating a movie about a pedo violating kids, entering their dreams. Nobody has, so it's a character. Okay? Nobody's gonna look at Wes Craven and say, yo, Wes Craven, why did you think of that? Why did you come up with such a horrific movie? Hey, Wes Craven, have you ever been to Epstein's Island? Because that sounds like some Epstein activity. You see what I'm saying? You get my drift? Now apply that to movies, apply that to sitcom, apply that to radio, apply that to all the weird commercials we've seen over the years that nobody has to take accountability for because that's just Ronald McDonald. Oh, that's just Ronald McDonald. He's a character. Okay? Now let's bring that all and wrap it around Charleston White. When I was able to connect those dots, I gained a lot of respect for Charleston White because over the years, black men that try to uplift the black community, black men that hold a mirror up to black community, to the urban community, to the damages and the disrespect that comes from our community. Any black man that tries to level up black people is assassinated. Any black man that is preaching, that's giving up that game, the higher ups and the elites learn and they figure out how to assassinate the character, how to get rid of that black man. The one thing that separates Charleston White from all those black men, black leaders, is that he created a character. Anytime he says something that ruffles feathers, that's a character. Anytime he says something that is a red flag for the higher ups and the elites, he blames it on the character. So now you got a character and you got Charleston White. And now that you got both of those entities, they don't really know how to approach Charleston. They don't really know how to eliminate Charleston. The same way we don't know how to eliminate Wes Craven, Ronald McDonald. The same way those characters get to play in our face with all this pedo activity is the same way Charleston White is playing in their face. All right, big salute. Yeah, we in here. Hit that like button and all that. I wanted to just give y'all some context. I wanted to break down the character that Charleston White and I want to really give y'all some context on the message in the madness. In that Freddy Krueger movie, right? There was a message that there's pedos in our neighborhoods. There's pedophiles all around us. There's Epstein Islands going on. But it's a bunch of madness. It's a bunch of horror. It's a bunch of, extraness where you might lose the message. Charleston White, with all the extra, with all the BS that he talks about, with all the rappers and all the gangs and all the streaming and all the extra that Charleston White is talking about, it's a message in that. And the real important thing is the message. Yeah, all that bullshit in Freddy Krueger with Wes Craven, yeah, that's all BS. The message is that Freddy Krueger was a pedophile. And we all went and watched the movie. We all went out there, even Fabulous. Every now and then, Fabulous dresses up like Freddy. You got Jada kissing Fabulous. You got Jason and Freddy. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now that we have laid out the character, now that we understand exactly what's going on, this character thing been going on for a long time. Charleston White is just the first black man that has taken a character and really monetized and monopolized off of it. That's why we don't even know what we looking at. That's why it go over our head and under our bridges when Charleston White get to doing what he do, because we looking and we saying, well, are you Charleston or are you a character? That he's the first black man that I've seen take this character thing to the next level. And see, I just want to make sure that you understand what you're looking at, because you need to know something. The higher ups and the elites understand what they're looking at. And if Charleston White if he don't thread this needle, they're gonna catch on, and they already caught on. They just don't know how to eliminate him. Yeah, they had Charleston White walk through the door. He went through the door. They had Charleston White out there with Aiden Ross. All that homosexual activity that him and Aiden Ross was doing content on out there in Vegas. Believe it or not, that wasn't strong enough to stop the message. Charleston White hanging out with them Jewish kids. Charleston White talking about homosexuality and letting them violate them did not water down his message. So that's letting you know they already tried to assassinate his character. They already tried to assassinate his character in the eyes of the urban community. But we don't talk about Charleston and Aiden Ross. We don't talk about Charleston and them Jewish boys. We don't really talk about that. When Charleston White get to talking, we get to listening. That make him dangerous. Yeah, yeah, that make him dangerous. Because imagine somebody going through the door and still having the wherewithal to violate the higher ups and the elites. Imagine somebody going through the door and still having the gumption to speak messages to black men. That's what Nipsey Hussle was trying to do. Nipsey Hussle was going to walk through the door and show us how to invest, show us about cryptocurrency, show us about opportunity zones, STEM. See, if you could go through the door and still deliver the message, you you are a powerful voice. Let's get into this, man. Let me lock in. Big salute to the chat. Hit the like button and all that. Let's get into this first. I'm gonna let the homie Tatiana, man. She do great content. Salute to Tatiana that speaks. You already know she's locked in with the channel. I'm gonna use some of her content. I want y'all to listen. We're gonna go through this receipt right here, and then we gonna double down. And I'm gonna give y'all, the context in the grown man business perspective y'all been asking about. Y'all in the DM and y'all want to know. Salute to CW, man. Go ahead and talk to the people, my G. Look.
Again, us as a whole, because it's about changing the narrative. We don't want to keep perpetuating. It's not about changing a narrative. How it ain't? It's about changing. No, fuck the narrative. It's about changing the man in the mirror. I didn't look at a narrative, nigga. I went in the mirror. I walked back from the mirror, nigga, fixing what I needed to fix. I became the change I wanted to see. I looked around in the house. I didn't say nothing to the bitch. I didn't say nothing to the kids. I started fixing what needed to be fixed. I started cleaning up. I started focusing on me. And as I got me better, my house got better. And what I'm telling you, at the point in life that all of us are at, we're at that. We're at that page. We're at that page. We're at that page of our self-improvement. I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not. Charleston White scary ass has left the building. And this is exactly why the black man does not grow, does not develop, and does not truly become who God has sent black men to be, because y'all do not listen to understand. Y'all listen to respond. Charleston White is sitting up here trying to tell y'all that the change starts within, but y'all focused on everything outside. The black man thinks that your power is trying to control the outside. When you change the inside, your whole world changed on the outside. A lot of black men does not understand that your mother raised you wrong. Your environment raised you wrong. You have no power in the physical world. All you can do is change the internal. The narrative has nothing to do with your individual life. If you change your life would not reflect that narrative. What I really didn't like is how when Charleston White chose to get up and walk away from a group of black men that lack listening skills, that only want to argue because you have chosen to put yourself in a victim standpoint and you want to call him scary. Why is a mature black man going to sit in an environment where the black men are not actively listening and they're argumentative? What is the point of that? Imagine this behavior with a woman. Imagine a woman who is sitting there trying to verbalize how she feels, trying to verbalize where the black man is going wrong, and then a black man jumps up, start yelling and screaming and behaving aggressively. And then you wonder why the black woman's getting aggressive, because look at how you're talking to me. Charleston White couldn't even speak because this man here was yelling and screaming. Well, my mama left me. I grew up this way. So imagine how he behaves with a woman. Imagine. A lot of black men are sitting and waiting on the black woman to change when the black men are technically the leaders of the community. How are you going to expect the flower to change when the soil has not changed, where the roots have not changed? Majority of these men are broken at this table, which is why they cannot hear anything he is saying, because Charleston White never directed the message to any of the men around the table. He's speaking to the broken man. Again, us as a whole, because it's about changing the narrative. We don't want to keep perpetuating. It's not about changing a narrative. How it ain't? It's about you don't want it to be changed? No, fuck the narrative. It's about changing the man in the mirror. I didn't look at a narrative, nigga. I went in the mirror. I walked back from the mirror, nigga, fixing what I needed to fix. I became the change I wanted to see. I looked around in the house. I didn't say nothing to the bitch. I didn't say nothing to the kids. I started fixing what needed to be fixed. I started cleaning up. I started focusing on me. And as I got me better, my house got better. And what I'm telling you, at the point of life that all of us are at, we're at that. It's about self-improvement. We're at that page. I'm not saying you're not, self-improvement. I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not.
So, big salute to CW, right? Big salute to Tatiana Speaks. It's a few other clips that's going around, but this one was the one that really it came across my desk and the downloads downloaded, right? So first I want to say, imagine somebody going through the door and having this conversation with 4 or 5 black men on a platform, on a podcast, right? That's going to go viral within our community. That make you dangerous. All right. And the first thing CW said, man, that really resonated with me is he said, take your eyes off the woman, right? You got to look in the mirror. And I don't know, it's just the floodgates open with that. When it comes to just black men, I'm just speaking to our community, right? When he said that, it really resonated because again, the man in the mirror, who said that before? Michael Jackson said that, right? I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And know then in the man in the mirror, if you want to change the world to a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Michael was telling us, Michael was delivering these messages that was going over our heads and under our bridges. You understand what I'm saying? So to hear Charleston say that, as a grown man on a platform called Grown Man Business TV that stands on grown man business, it's only right that I elaborate on that. We always we got a lot of people talking about Megan Thee Stallion. We always have conversations about the women on Instagram and the over sexuality, just overly sexualizing yourself as women, right? Half naked. We always have these conversations, but we never want to get down to the nitty gritty. And Charleston White is doing that. Before anything can change, as black men, we got to change, not just change the external. It starts with the internal. And I'm gonna let Tatiana speak again because it's deep, because we are star children. We got this melanin in us. We are connected to the cosmos. So we lose every time trying to change the physical realm. We lose every time trying to change what is in this matrix, what is in front of us. And what we have lost is that we have to change the inside first. Anything that we change on the internal, it eventually changes our reality on the external. And see, again, we done lost that. We get up every day. We go hustle. We going to get money. We arguing with women. We doing this. We doing that. We trying to raise our families. We doing everything that we have been raised to believe is right, except looking in the mirror and internally changing inside. Now, that's right there was right off the rip. But then we get, CW's talking about, your mothers, how a lot of black men, how a lot of us was raised, right? And it just really made sense. It made so much sense. How can black women be who they supposed to be if we not who we supposed to be? How can black women be the queens that they are if the majority of black men are not standing in their kingdom? They're not standing in that king mode, that king vibration. They're not men. They're not even trying to be the head of their family. They're not even trying to be, because again, it take a lot to be the king. Everybody want to be the man. Everybody want to be the king. But it's a reason why everybody ain't a king. It's a reason why everybody ain't the man, because it's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of discernment. It's a lot of soul searching that come with this. That's why I stand on this grown man business shit so strongly, because knowledge is infinite. So we always going to be learning. Look at what we can see of the majority of our culture, just the men. Let's take the women out of it. Let's take the children out of it. Just the men. And it got to be something going on internal for you to be scared to go and smoke a white man, or smoke an Asian man, or smoke a Mexican man, but you will smoke somebody that look just like you. It's internal. It's internal, my G. It's again, right? Listen to me. When CW said this, it made me realize he is not as gone as I thought he is. Yeah, he went through the door, but he still is still there. A lot of the times when y'all go through the door, they done took you to a Diddy party. They done blew your back out. They done had their way with you. And now you can't even deliver a message to your people. You can't even help, save your people. You can't give no game to your people because they done misused you. They done blew your back out 13 times at that Diddy party. But see, CW has gone through the door, but he still has it here. This message right here is just this clip right here is a powerful message. Until we can get black men to look within, there will be no change. Women going to continue to be whore. I mean, whores is whores, but it's going to be rampant. Okay, now let's go to another level with this. And I'm gonna let Tati speak too. I want to let her get her part off again so we could elaborate on it. But why are black men afraid to look within? Why are black men running from the internal and latching on to the external? Why is that? This is where it gets a little deeper. And again, CW spoke to this. There was another receipt where he was explaining, and he was saying, the first thing you need to do is go apologize to any woman you think you might have hurt or disrespected or X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to get to that part. But why are black men, for the most part, afraid to change within so that they could change the reality? I'm gonna let the homie Tati speak one more time, and then we gonna get into that. Big salute to the fast man. Hit the like button and all that. We not staying long. We back in the algorithm. They can't stop the message. What they thought I was about to come talk about Klay Thompson? Nah. We getting right back into the mix. We getting right back into what's real. None of yeah. I know y'all miss me. I see y'all in the DM. I know y'all missed this. All that fluffy content all in these YouTube streets and all that. Yeah, they stepping on the content. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Go, Tati, talk to the people, Tati. Look.
Charleston White scary ass has left the building. And this is exactly why the black man does not grow, does not develop, and does not truly become who God has sent black men to be, because y'all do not listen to understand. Y'all listen to respond. Charleston White is sitting up here trying to tell y'all that the change starts within, but y'all focused on everything outside. The black man thinks that your power is trying to control the outside. When you change the inside, your whole world changed on the outside. A lot of black men does not understand that your mother raised you wrong. Your environment raised you wrong. You have no power in the physical world. All you can do is change the internal. The narrative has nothing to do with your individual life. If you change your life would not reflect that narrative. What I really didn't like is how when Charleston White chose to get up and walk away from a group of black men that lack listening skills and only want to argue because you have chosen to put yourself in a victim standpoint and you want to call him scary. Why is a mature black man going to sit in an environment where the black men are not actively listening and they're argumentative? What is the point of that?
Now I want to stop her right there. Big salute to Tati. You know, the first thing that she said was these podcasts were listening. They wasn't listening to understand, they were listening to respond. And that right there again, the download. Who do you know that does that? Man should be jealous. That's a female trait. But you mad because you move dimes and he sell weight? Y'all don't yet. That's a female trait. Women. Women listen only to respond for the most part. They listen. You could be telling them your life story. They are only listening so that they can defend themselves and respond. They're never, for the most part, women are never listening to understand. So if you got a room full of men doing that, here we go. Here we go. The majority of men, a lot of us was raised by women. This is a hard part. This is a part for men, right? Black men. I'm speaking to like the melanated, right? My people. This is a hard angle for a lot of us to really tap into. The fact that the majority of us was raised by our mothers and how much damage that does. Just being raised by a woman, you already displaying female traits because you ain't even listening. See, when you was raised by a woman and you start taking on them female traits, it's hard to listen to a grown man because you are used to listening to women. You are used to listening to a woman. It, again, the reason why the majority of black men will not tap in and do soul searching is because that's going to open up the floodgates to a lot of memories and a lot of things that you closed off, that you forgot all about because trauma, your brain takes trauma and puts them off in closets. You know what I'm saying? So the last thing you want to do is address trauma because you addressing that trauma will expose your flaws, your shortcomings, the things that you are not 100% at, the things that make you weak, the things that make you feel less than a man. But at the same time, you run around subconsciously doing female shit, acting like a female, talking like a female, responding like a female, emotionally, no emotional discipline like a female. You ever notice when in certain times when we doing these live streams, how we get a lot of this weirdness in the chat because a lot of men are not used to hearing a man speak. They're not used to hearing or taking directions from another man. Okay, now you know again, right? You really gotta lock into this. We have no control over this matrix in a physical form. That's why the majority of our people is struggling to get out of whatever situations we in because we don't understand that we have no control over this physical form. But if you change the way you think, if you change from the inside out, if you look in the mirror, address your trauma, address your shortcomings, right? If you look in the mirror and you change from the inside out, if we was to all get on the same accord and begin to fix ourselves from the inside out, we change the reality. We change everything. So now you could kind of pinpoint why they don't want you looking at that man in the mirror. Word to Michael Jackson. Now you kind of understand why they got you looking everywhere except within. They got you looking at every book. They got you looking at every piece of content. They got you looking everywhere but in your own eyes. Now, why am I able to speak to this, right? You know, as a black man raised in the same environment, when I hear dudes like Charleston White, I I gravitate towards it. I was raised around men that talk like Charleston White. They didn't have to have all the money. They didn't have to be rich. It could have been your drunk uncle that your mama told your uncle how you was acting up. And when you went to your Aunt Punchy house, your uncle was over there and he was gonna straighten you out. He was gonna tell you some shit that you never that was gonna resonate. And as a black man being raised in the same environment majority of us have been in, I forced myself to go through that. I certain things happened in my life that forced me to stop and reevaluate, look back. For everybody is different, right? For me, certain situations happen where, you know, I had to stop and I looked into, right? My mom and my father was married when I was conceived. My mom and my father was married when I was born. That's something that you could think about. In due time, I began to be proud about that. I'm not a bastard baby. I was born in wedlock, right? Things happen, you grow up, and then what you will realize, and what most men don't want to tap into, black men, right, is the trauma that you get from being raised by a single mother. Even if your mother tried to do the best she could, even if your mother did the best that she can, if you really dig and start to soul search, you will be able to look at your mama in a different way. And most men, we was raised by our mothers. We don't want to look at our mothers in a negative light. We don't want to, to us, our mothers they're perfect. They're our mothers. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying all this to say it's a lot, it's real reasons why black men don't want to soul search. Being a black man that soul search, I could speak to this. When you go into your old traumas, whatever it is, when you look back at your childhood, when you start to do your own therapy, even if you don't go to a therapist, if you just look in the mirror and you are honest with yourself, those traumas you can begin to heal. And once you heal those traumas, you become the king that you're supposed to be. And black men, until we I ain't gonna lie, I done did that already. So until black men, the majority of us, look in that mirror, I'm gonna talk to the man in the mirror. I want to tell him to change his ways. No question for the man in the mirror. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Make the change that you want to see. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I went and saw that Michael Jackson movie. I went and saw that Michael Jackson movie with my daughter. She took me to see the Michael Jackson movie. It was an amazing movie. And it made me realize and remember how powerful Michael Jackson was. It made me remember why they assassinated Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? All I really want to say is they don't really care about us. Like, he was talking to the people. He told us. And then when I heard Charleston White say, I didn't talk to the woman, I didn't talk to the children, I talked to the man in the mirror. It all came back. It all came back. It all came back. When we began to look and correct and change the man in the mirror, this whole reality becomes whatever we want it to be. Now, I want to go to a receipt real quick. Just to piggyback off of what I was saying, right? Um, about the the traumas that come with like being raised by a single mother. It's no disrespect to women. It's no disrespect to women, but your habits and your mannerisms rubbing off on a boy is detrimental to the community. I think that if two people have a kid and they not married and it's a boy, 100%, if it's a boy, the first rule of thumb the court should be trying to give that boy to his father. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not an argument. If you just had a son with a man, the obligations need to go to the man off the rip. Off the rip. All right? I want to play a clip real fast. And this is a clip of a guy by the name of Alpha Mega. Now, a lot of y'all youngsters might not remember Alpha Mega, but he was a rapper that was alongside T.I.P. Now, him, T.I., Busta Rhymes, they got a song when they get hurt. But like, it's a real good song from back in the day. I'm not even going to try to remember the words to it, right? But I would have never believed I would have saw the day where Alpha Mega would be on a podcast describing his upbringing with his mother and, you know what I'm saying, exposing the trauma. Like, Alpha Mega was a bully. Alpha Mega was one of those big 6'6" niggas from the hood that'll beat your ass, shoot you. You know what I'm saying? Like, him and T.I. had that song, I believed it. And it was like, I ain't playing. Well, you know what I'm saying? For your ass get hurt, they even get hurt. Murk, put him in the dirt. Boy, you better catch me first. What they get? Murk, hurt. Put him in the dirt. Boy, you better catch me first. Like, that shit was a real song, and I believed Alpha Mega. Yeah, I believed him. But watching this clip right here made me understand, again, all that shit is trauma. Why he was out there shooting niggas, why he was out there beating and robbing niggas, why he was Alpha Mega is because of the traumas he was enduring as a youngster. And because he wasn't able to look on the inside, because he wasn't able to soul search and heal, he was taking it out on the community. I'm gonna play this receipt, but I want you to understand that Alpha Mega. Look, I'm gonna show you Alpha Mega. He got a tattoo on his face right here. That mean he was a killer. This ain't no tattoo like you young niggas with the tattoos all around your mouth, like blue face, all around your goddamn. Nah, nigga, he got one tattoo on his face, nigga. I would have never, but see again, I'm gonna break this clip down because I want you to understand. Now we looking at an old man Alpha Mega, all white beard Alpha Mega, an Alpha Mega up in age, an Alpha Mega now finally doing the soul searching, finally looking into his trauma, and he can't even. I'm talking, he crying like a Alpha Mega, crying like a motherfucker. You know what? Alpha Mega talk to the people. Look. Look at Alpha Mega. One tattoo crosses. That's a guy. Yeah. That's Alpha Mega right there. Go ahead and talk to the people, Alpha.
9:30 at night. I'm like, mama, she looked back. The guy tried to. My mama pulled off on me, bro, with a dude in a truck, and I'm running behind the truck crying. And it's like 9:30 at night, and I'm like, mama, she looked back. The guy tried to stop, but I guess she told him to keep going. And I was outside, bro. Like, I actually slept on the stairs. The neighbor came out. I don't want to say like no bitch. So, the neighbor came out, and she let me in her house. She let me in her house, Miss Cunny. That's deep, man. Yeah, Miss Cunny let me in, bro. She gave me something to eat. She gave me a bath. She told my mama, she said, your mama wrong. She said, but you're going to be all right one day. She got you strong. No? I still love my mama though. My mom was left alone a lot of times. People don't realize my mama left me outside one day, dog, when I was like 3 or 4, bro. My mama pulled off on me, bro, with a dude in a truck, and I'm running behind the truck crying. And it's like 9:30 at night, and I'm like, mama. She looked back. The guy tried to stop, but I guess she told him to keep going. And I was outside, bro. Like I actually slept on the stairs. The neighbor came out. I don't want to say like no bitch.
Now I'm gonna get back to this receipt, right? But notice he said, I don't want to sound like no bitch. Notice that. That's what the majority of black men in the community is fighting against. They fighting against looking and sounding weak, looking and sounding like a bitch. They don't wanna put the guns down, put the drugs down, put the lean down, put the Percocets down, put down all of the desire, all of the medication that they using to medicate themselves and address whatever it is, the trauma is, whatever it is, right? Because they don't want to look like a bitch. They don't want to look soft. You understand what I'm saying? It's deep. Again, if you don't know who Alpha Mega is, Google this guy. Back in the early 2000s, this motherfucker you would have been scared. A lot of y'all would have been very nervous around this man. I know he look old now, he got the gray beard, but I'm saying in his prime, he was nothing to be messing around with. He was a dangerous man. Yeah. Do your research. And all these years later, he's soul searching. He trying to figure out. He's addressing trauma. Go ahead and talk. Go ahead and finish out, Alpha. Go ahead and talk to people.
The neighbor came out and she let me in her house. She let me in her house, Miss Cunny. That's deep, man. Yeah, Miss Cunny let me in, bro. She gave me something to eat. She gave me a bath. She told my mama, she said, your mama wrong. She said, but you're going to be all right one day. She got you strong. No, I still love my mama, though. My mama would leave.
He says, mama would leave him. Think about how many of these young boys used to get left by their mama when they was going to the club, when their mama was going out to make some money, when their mama was hoeing, when their mama was clubbing, when their mama was drugging. Think about how many of these young boys is going exactly through what Alpha Omega is talking about, but he's just old enough to talk about it. And I saw in the chat, he was like, "Yo, sometime the men might not be in a position to take the child," and I get that. But all I'm saying is the first result should be the dad is taking the child. Now, if the courts do the evaluation and you could tell that the mother is well off more than the father, then we figure that out. But it shouldn't be the kid going with the mother off the rip, knowing how emotional women is, knowing how unstable women is, emotionally unstable, how they go up and down. Like that should never. But see, again, the higher ups and the elites aren't working to better our communities or make our men strong. They're not working to make strong black men. So now when you see that they make sure that the mother got the kid, regardless if the mother got it or not, that's letting you know they want the kid to be weak. They don't give the mother the children because they believe that the mother is going to raise strong, reliable, respectable, responsible men. Women. The courts don't give you the child because they respect you and they think that y'all can do a good job. They give y'all the child because they know y'all are 9 times out of 10 going to fail out of nature. Out of nature. You can't deliver what a man delivers, no matter how much you love the child. So when the courts rule in your favor, you thinking, oh yeah, but nah, it's only because you are the worst, respectfully. I want to spin this and tie this all the way back to Charleston White. Charleston White is speaking against babies out of wedlock. He's speaking against everything that the black man is today. He's speaking against it. And the first thing people is going to do is respond in a defense mechanism, because the majority of niggas is girls, they women. They don't even know it. You don't even know it, bro. I was fortunate enough to have a man in the house. You know what I'm saying? I was fortunate enough to be able to still have a man in the house to emulate certain things off. But I know how it feel for your mama to protect you. I know how it feel for your mama to keep you under the wing. I know how it feel to grow up and realize you got to cut off some of them ways that you got from your mother. Lucky for me, right? My mom and my family was very protective. So certain things like that, certain things like, like Alpha Omega or Charleston White, or I mean not Charleston White, Hassan Campbell, certain dudes, certain things they went through, I didn't go through. Certain things that these young drill rappers, these young boys that's just throwing their life away, I didn't go through. So it didn't take me long to do some soul searching, figure some things out. I always had an intimate war with them people. That's why I never killed somebody. I never maimed somebody. I never unloaded a gun on somebody that looked just like me. I always kind of had it like y'all supposed to be getting that dog fur. And that's why I never had respect for black men that killed other black men. Never. This ain't just start from the internet. That shit Zip used to be talking about was one of the reasons why me and him started bumping heads, because I never respected you walking up on a black man and shooting him in the back of the head. That's because your mama raised you. That's some female shit. See, y'all, they done got to a point where they got us thinking female traits is what make you gangster. Not having emotional discipline is what make you gangster. Not having sexual discipline is what make you a pimp, is what make you gangster. And all of those things make you a hoe. When you can't keep your dick in your pants, that make you a hoe, homie. When you will kill a black man for stepping on your shoe, but you say yes sir and no sir to a white man or Asian man or a Mexican man or Indian man, that make you a hoe. That make you a hoe, homie. So all the dudes in our community that got bodies for killing other black men, they brag about it because again, they got us thinking that the feminine activity is masculine. No, that's some hoe shit. When you shot that man in the back of the head, that's because you was raised by your mama and you don't have no emotional discipline. You didn't know how to handle that situation like a grown man. When you go and you slide on that block and you shoot innocent people and you disrespecting your elders and you don't know how to, that's because your mama traits is in you, boy. I gained a lot of respect for Charleston White when I saw these clips and they came across my desk. I gained a lot of respect for him. This is where it's gonna get real at. And this is where I'm gonna close off at with this situation. Big salute to the chat. This is where it's going to get real at for Charleston White if he continues on this path. If Charleston White continues to to try to elevate black men mentally, spiritually. If Charleston White continues to deliver this type of game and this type of message, he's going to have a problem. They will assassinate his character. He will, trust me, it's going to go left for real. Same way it went, look, same way it went left for Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. You know, preaching black family, preaching marriage, babies in wedlock, preaching to black women and showing them the truth about age, about, you know, sexual being promiscuous, about lowering your value like a Megan Thee Stallion. You think Kevin Samuels just passed away due to cardiac arrest? You believe that? Y'all remember he had a little model, he had a little nurse in his condo with him when he had that cardiac arrest? Y'all remember, we don't really know too much about this female that was in his condo. She never faced charges. We don't know much about her. You know why? And this is allegedly. But you know, putting a couple of drops of Clear Eyes in somebody's drink does that, right? Allegedly. Oh yeah. I'm talking Visine. You know, the Clear Eyes, the eye drops. You put a couple of drops of that in somebody's drink. Kevin Samuels was assassinated, allegedly, for talking this kind of truth. And all I want to say to that is, Charleston White, you know, again, I guarantee you, we're gonna get some BS content. We're gonna get some real watered down, stepped on content from Charleston White, because he gotta make this right. He gotta show these people that he ain't all the way jumped off the cliff. He ain't jumped off the ledge yet. But what I'm telling you is, take these sound bites. Let's put the messenger aside and let's catch the message. We all gonna come to listen, black men, listen to me. We all gonna come to a point in life where you are going to be forced to look in the mirror. It's called soul searching. It's called soul searching. And for a lot of us, it don't happen until we get older, like Alpha Mega, where you got all these gray hairs on your face. You getting closer to death. You getting closer to the upper room. And you start rehashing things. You start to question things. And then all of these old memories come back, and then you have to face them. You're gonna cry, bro. You know what I'm saying? My suggestion is you do that shit in the privacy of your own home. You do that shit in the shower. You do it somewhere where your family and your people don't see, but you're gonna do it. It's gonna be a definite. For a lot of us, when our fathers pass away, for us that are fortunate enough to know our fathers, or whatever the circumstances come to where you have to address that father and son relationship or whatever that was, for a lot of us as men, that's when we have that awakening. That's when we have that soul searching moment, when your father passes away and now you are the king. You are the man. Your dad is dead. Now everything falls on you. That's when we have that awakening. When we figure out that, you know, we could have had more time with our fathers, but our mothers are women. Our mothers was scorned. Our mothers was upset with our dad. Our mothers might have been holding us and keeping us away from our pops. Our mothers was just like one of your baby mothers that you can't stand. Your mother was a baby mother. The same way you got a baby mother that you hate, Your mom might have been that same baby mother to your daddy. And now that perfect image of your mother starts to become skewed. You start to see shit. You start to connecting the dots. And now all of that manipulation, now you saying, damn, my daddy wasn't that bad of a guy. Damn, my daddy was right. Damn, mom, why'd you do this? What now? This is what's gonna happen. And the majority of you niggas is smoking weed, y'all popping pills, y'all doing everything in your power not to address that. But what I'm here to tell you is, if you listen to what Charleston White said, it's the truth. When you address that and you face it heads up, you come out on the other side, the king that you was always supposed to be. You come out on the other side, the man that you was meant to be. Until you do that, you will never tap in to the king inside of you, the man inside of you. You could never tap into that source until you address the trauma. And if you don't address the trauma, you can't lead no woman. That's what I'm gonna close on, right? How can and I'm a married man, so I'm able to do this within my household. You know, it all starts in the home. But in due time, over time, in soul searching, you learn how to lead. You learn how to demand that shit from a real woman. You don't need no slouch. You don't need no whore. I'm talking a real educated, highly melanated black woman will submit. She'll apologize. She'll do whatever it is. Right? When we look at the state of black women, right? When we look at everything that, I mean, down to the weave, the overly extra makeup, the BBLs, the fat transfers, everything that black women are doing, the over sexuality, the promiscuousness, everything that's coming that I see within black women is really because of us. Black men. It really stems, it's a lot of other outside entities and a lot of outside things that are helping keep it going, right? But it's really because of us. Because when you forget to look within, right? When you forget to fix the man in the mirror, the women start to emulate whatever those damaged goods are. That's what the women are emulating. So our women is butt ass naked on Instagram. Our women is wearing wigs with dog fur on it. Our women is trying to be any and everything except who they are. And who do we have to blame? The black man. You can't change nothing until you change yourself. You can't fix nothing until you fix yourself, nigga. You don't have no control over nothing until you got control over yourself. Salute to CW for that, man. That was a powerful, powerful download that I felt it was necessary to speak on this. Why can I speak on this? How can I speak on this? Because I'm a big dog with this. I'm a grown ass man, homie. I paid the cost to be the boss. I paid the dues to make the rules. Yeah, yeah. Listen. I paid the cost to be the boss, and I paid the dues to make the rules. This will be something that I'm going to drive home. I'm not going to let it slide. It don't got to be therapy, young nigga. It don't got to be therapy, but biblically, because I like to get biblical. You gotta sacrifice. The beginning stages of soul searching is sacrifices. That's the foundation. What are you doing right now that's holding you back from tapping into your trauma? What are you doing right now? What kind of medications are you using to medicate so that you don't have to look into your trauma, so you don't have to face the man in the mirror? The first thing you have to do is sacrifice that. Whatever it is, lean, Percocets, if you're smoking weed to stay high, or whatever you want to medicate that, whatever it is, women, whatever it is, sacrifice it. You got to go cold turkey. You got to fast. Whatever your vice is, whatever you into, whatever's stopping you from facing the man in the mirror, you got to stop that. Once you stop that long enough, you will have no choice but to look at yourself. Once you ain't getting high no more, once you done got off the Percocets, once you done got off the lean, once you done got off the drugs, when you are off that shit, you will look in the mirror and you will see yourself for who you are, and you will have to address it. But until that happens, until every man stops and reevaluates and changes himself from the inside out, the women are only going to follow us where we going. The women are only going to follow you niggas, because the majority of men are being led and followed by the majority of women. And it's a small exception, like me and other men, grown men, that's married, that's standing on a certain business, that can talk like this. And our women are being led in a different light. Our women that are following us ain't naked on YouTube. They ain't promoting promiscuity. They're not doing all of that. Big salute to the chat. Big salute to the chat. Yeah, no drugs, no liquor, whatever you in for 30 days. And I guarantee you, you wake up one day, you wake up on the 32nd, the 34th, the 35th day, you go in the bathroom in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, and you're gonna cry, bro. You're gonna cry. You ain't even gonna know why you crying. You ain't even gonna know why you so emotional. You're not even gonna know why. But you're gonna be forced to find out why. You're gonna be forced to figure out why. To all you young niggas, yo, you're gonna be forced to say, why am I shooting these niggas? Why am I doing this? Why am I going to jail? Why am I spending time away from my family for this gang that don't love me? Why am I doing this? And then you're going to figure it out. You're going to soul search and say, damn, like Alpha Mega, my mama used to leave me. Damn, I never had my pops in my life. Damn, I saw my brother get killed when I was 23. Damn, I saw my cousin get killed when I was 14. Or you might be like Hassan Campbell. Damn, it was an Africa Bambaataa in my neighborhood. Whatever you went through, once you could figure that out, then you get to be a man. Big salute to the chat, man. I'm gonna say this, man. This YouTube shit, man, it's a powerful tool, man, and it get dangerous. And I always told y'all that YouTube is a portal. It is a portal. It is a way for them to comb through billions and millions of people and figure out who is the leaders, who are the truth tellers, who are the sheep, who are, you know what I'm saying, the people we don't need to worry about. It's a way for them to, behind closed doors, comb through your content and figure out who you are. Ah, man, he just talking about Jay-Z all day. He ain't nothing to worry about. Choke no joke. Yeah, we don't need to worry about him. He not really giving them no game. He just talking about Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? This person, yeah. We got Vlad. We can get people off the streets with Vlad. We can use Adam 22 to get people and trick niggas off the street. But it's just like social media. It's a portal. It's a way for you to walk through the door. It's a way for you to advertise yourself for the Illuminati. And being as though my channel is the name that it is, being as though my channel is growing the way it's growing, we are a target. They have I've known this for a year or so now. They are on to me. They play with the channel. I can't think. I'm gonna figure. I gotta go to that email on why they play with my channel for a few days. They say things like, you're not allowed to go live because X, Y, and Z, and then they'll say, and we don't know when you'll be able to go live. You get in hey, what's going on? I can't go live. Yeah, something happened. We seen some content. It reminisced of this or that or the third, and you won't be able to go live, and we don't know when you'll be able to go live. But this is the second time it happened, and normally, like after about a week, they let you go live. Last time it was about 6 or 7 days. This time it was about 10 days. And in this 10 days, I took some time. Patreon is coming. I'm working on that. That's coming next. Big salute to the chat. I was kind of playing with the idea, but with this situation right here, we're gonna have to go to Patreon. I'm sure, I don't know how it works. I'm sure it'll be a small little fee for y'all to, just be tuned in. And then I am going to still go live on YouTube and direct y'all to the Patreon. And when things happen that y'all know, I'm gonna talk some wild, crazy content where I'm just gonna say what I want. That'll be y'all will be able to it's gonna be on the Patreon. That's coming. Big salute to that. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. And it's gonna be a small fee, man, because that's just how it is. But salute to everybody, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna be proud to pay, like Nipsey Hussle said. Anybody that's proud to pay, just make sure Patreon will be situated within the next week or so. Within the next week or two, I'm gonna have that and it'll be available and we'll go live. But this, I can't even be mad because I told y'all a long time ago that this YouTube, this shit is a portal, man. The channel is called Grown Man Business TV. It's one other dude out here with the name Grown Man Business, but he don't have the TV. He started YouTube way before me doing content. With the same name, I surpassed him. I got double his subscribers because he's doing Grown Man Business about how to be a man. I'm not telling you how to be a man. I'm giving you the game. It's a big difference in what we do. And that's why my channel is on the way to the top and his channel was stagnated. The higher ups and the elites know what we doing, but they still at this point don't take the channel fully serious because it's still a fairly small channel. 60,000 to them in this algorithm, in this portal, those is peanuts. But we hit 100,000. We hit 100,000. We hit 200,000. Now even with 100,000 plaque, that make me more dangerous. And before we get to that 100,000, we need the Patreon to be, accessible. Just something that's a normal thing now. Yeah, we going to the Patreon. We know GMB gonna be on the Patreon. We ain't seen. I'm gonna direct y'all to the Patreon. Lock in, and we gonna go up from there. Black men have to change our reality from the inside out. When the last time you heard that? Been a long time I heard somebody say, look at the man in the mirror. I think Michael Jackson might have been the last time I heard somebody say, you got to change the man in the mirror and say it with some conviction. Michael fucking Jackson. And then I hear Charleston White years later say the same thing. I'm not trying to change the bitch. I'm not trying to change the children. I got to change me. I gotta clean me up. I gotta heal my trauma. I gotta make myself a better person. And then everything around me will become what my reality is. We don't gotta change black women. We don't gotta tell black women what to do. We ain't gotta tell black women to close their legs and put some clothes on. We gotta start shunning and rejecting the hoes again. Bitch, you a whore. You see your bitch, I wouldn't touch you. You see your Instagram? Yo, shorty, you see your Instagram? I wouldn't lay a finger on you. Enough of that, and women will stop doing that. They'll start putting some clothes on because their nature is to subconsciously do what us men, what we like. If they know it or not, if they believe it or not, they are only doing what they believe we like. Oh, them niggas they like them BBLs. You see how them niggas do with them BBLs? I'm gonna get me a BBL. I'll make more money. Oh, you them niggas like, bro, they be up in my, you see how they be up in the bitch DM with those Daisy Dukes and the ass out? I'm gonna take some pictures with the ass out. Ain't nobody liking the pictures of the chick that got her clothes on and is fully dressed and is an educated, very articulate, opinionated black woman. They call her masculine. They call her masculine. They tell her, you acting like a motherfucking man, bitch, take your clothes off. You acting like a man with all your clothes on, having an opinion about shit. Yeah. They got this shit confused. They are only, women are only doing what they believe we like. And if I don't say this, then who am I to, I gotta say this. I gotta put this into the universe to show you that I'm the opposite of that. I don't play that shit. I'm disgusted by whores. I'm disgusted. But let me tell you something, ladies. When I was growing up, they had a saying, right? Be a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. That was a real thing when I was growing up. Be a lady in the streets. Be a lady on social media. Be a lady outside and be a whore behind closed doors. Yeah. Now it's all confused and shit. They got the bitches is whores out in the public. Bitches is whores. Motherfucker will put on lingerie, set up a camera, and take naked pictures and hit the goddamn upload button and post it for millions of people to see. And as black men, we accept that. We accept Cardi B. We accept Megan Thee Stallion. We accept Glorilla. We accept the whole activity and expect women to do the opposite. When we congratulate, when we celebrate whores. Excuse my language, YouTube. Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, I know you're fucking yes, allegedly. Excuse my language. Allegedly. A lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. That's what I was raised under. So seeing all these butt naked ass women all out in the public like that, yeah, I'm disgusted. I get disgusted by you. I get to, yeah, respectfully. I can't stand Instagram for that main reason. That is so much scattered ass everywhere. Every time you scroll, it's scattered ass all up and down the goddamn search engine. I'm talking all type of scattered ass. All type light skin scattered ass, black scattered ass, white scattered ass, whatever. Mexican scattered ass. It's scattered ass every time I hit the goddamn search engine. I don't know how many ways you can pose with your ass out. Ain't no more ways to pose with your ass out. Y'all done did it all. Please stop, please. We done seen it all, bitch. Cover your ass up. Yeah, yeah, ladies. I came up in a whole different day and age. A lady in the streets. You had to be a lady outside, bitch. Cross your goddamn legs when you sit down, bitch. Huh? Cover up your goddamn chest and your cleavage, bitch. Pull your goddamn pants, bitch, your ass out. When I was growing up, bitch, your ass was out. That was a problem. Bitch. We would say something. Somebody say something to you. Bitch, what you doing? Until we as men start stepping on that type of shit, we ain't got no room to talk about it. We ain't got no room to disrespect it. Women are following us if they believe it. I don't care how independent you are. I don't care how independent you are as a woman. I don't care how much money you got. You popping that pussy for us to look at it. You trying to be chosen. You want to be picked. It's dangerous now. Bitch can't. I ain't gonna lie, I get skeptical. I tell my old lady, hey, be easy. You know, just posting on Instagram, you're looking for validation. You're looking for some kind of attention. You gotta be very careful with this right here. Cause there's so much scattered ass on Instagram. Your bitch might just be trying to promote a business or trying to get her name out there. But you done posted your shit amongst all this scattered ass. I can't have it. I won't no. No. That shit Charleston White said, if that seed is planted, if that resonates with the people, that is dangerous. That is a dangerous, dangerous thing. Big salute to the chat. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Listen, man. We back in the algorithm. I did reach out to like the YouTube. You reach out like to the contact and you got to do a whole bunch of typing. And they said, "Oh, GMB TV, Mr. GMB TV. We're not trying to attack your channel. We're just trying to make sure that we protect the YouTube community." The YouTube community. Y'all want to protect it. Y'all don't stop videos of black rappers being assassinated. I mean, I see all type of wild shit on YouTube, and I always think to myself, like, how is this channel able to like post this? Oh, we're trying to protect the YouTube community. Yeah, sound more like the rainbow community to me, YouTube, respectfully, allegedly. Sound like the rainbow community, the little hat community, the Jewish community. Oh, you thought I was gonna be scared to say it, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if y'all should call it the YouTube community. Man, just call it what it is, the Jewish community, the rainbow community. Yeah, that make more sense. Patreon is on the way. Don't worry, we gonna have that set up nice and neat. And I promise you, what I do on Patreon, I'm not Hassan Campbell. Yeah, I'm nothing. It's nothing like this. I'm gonna give you your money's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be worth it. Oh, I'm gonna make sure it's worth it. When I ain't got to call you the dog fur people no more, and I could just call you what you is. Oh, yes. Yes. Assalamu alaikum. Shalaikum shalom, nigga. Assalamu alaikum and shalaikum shalom. Yes. When I could just tell you exactly what oh, yes, it's going to be worth it. Yeah, monthly. Make sure it's monthly. Monthly subscription. And I'm going to talk. Boy, let me tell you something. When I put this motherfucking Patreon up, YouTube gonna reach out to Patreon. Patreon, do you have a content creator by the name of Grown Man Business TV? We need you to get him out of there. Patreon, this is free speech. They can say whatever they want. We don't give a damn about that. Cause I'm gonna talk. Yeah, get Grown Man Business out of there. What do you mean, YouTube? Grown Man Business TV came to Patreon so he could say what he wants and talk how he wants. We will sue your ass. Patreon, we're going to take you to court. We will sue your ass for defamation of character if you don't get Grown Man Business TV off your platform. I guarantee you, I'm going to make your ass love this, YouTube. Allegedly. YouTube is allegedly, I'm gonna make you love it. YouTube, yeah. I'm gonna make you love this. Yeah, I'm gonna make you love it. Patreon is going. I'm gonna make it my business, and then I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do the due diligence, and I get, let's say I get 500 people to get in there. We gonna start going. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna see what it take, what it's lined up to be. I'm going to set a goal, and I'm going to say, once we get 250 people in here, we going to deliver content. And I'm going to call your ass every name in the book. Every name. And I'm going to talk to your ass like, yeah. Yeah, I done got excited. I was a little, I was a little bit excited just thinking about it. Just thinking about calling your ass out your name. I'm tired of calling you the dog fur people. I want to call you. I want to call you a Ritz cracker. You ever had Ritz crackers with the peanut butter? You ever had Ritz crackers? I like Ritz crackers. I'm talking about Ritz crackers. YouTube. I'm talking about the Ritz crackers with the. I'm gonna call your ass. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call you. Yeah, respectfully. Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait to call. Yeah, Rich. Let me see if YouTube. I don't want you to hold on. YouTube. This what I'm talking about. Let me see what I can talk about. I want to see if I can pull this up. YouTube. I just don't want you to play with my channel. I'm not talking about those kind of crackers. I'm talking about these kind of right here. YouTube. Look. These crackers right here. I'm talking about these crackers. The crackers. The rich crackers. These kind of crackers. YouTube. Look. And I promise you, yeah, I promise you, I'm gonna call you everyone in the book. Every goddamn way I'm gonna say it any way I can get it out to you. Yeah, I'm gonna make you love the YouTube. You play with my channel, I'm gonna make you love this. I guarantee you. I was just talking about rich crackers, YouTube, respectfully. Allegedly, I was just talking about rich crackers with the peanut. Allegedly, I just need to make sure I said that for they send me an email. They'll send you an email. Oh, you was talking about. I was talking about Ritz crackers now. Ritz. Big salute to the chat, man. All jokes aside, right? Whenever you get around a black man or a black teenager, right? Anybody that you feel any black man that you feel you would like to give game to or you like to speak to, I want y'all to put it into your mental Rolodex. I want you to make it your business to plant that seed that it's inner workings. It's a soul searching. You got to change who you are on the inside to change your reality. You want to get rich and you not rich yet, then it's something you need to change in your thought process. It's something you need to change in your heart. It's something you need to change on the inside. It's something you're not addressing yet. It's something you're not dealing with yet. It's something you're not healed from yet that's stopping you from going to the next level. And when I say rich, I'm not just talking about financial. I'm talking about rich in family, rich in love, rich in sexual discipline, rich in discernment, rich in so many other things. Is you know, some people they're so broke that all they got is money. Y'all ever heard that? Don't be so broke that all you got is money. You could be rich in family. You could be rich in wisdom. The inner workings is what's stopping that. Ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed, but if you've been smoking weed for the last 10 years, take a 5-year break. Take a 1 year, 2 year break. Don't smoke weed for the next 24 months and see how enlightened you become. See how once you can clear the smog and the smoke, see how much clarity come with that. You'll gain so much clarity, you won't even want to smoke for them. I ain't smoked weed in over 6 years. When you get that game to whoever you talk to, your nephew, your youngsters, whoever it is, we need to spread that seed that to change what we are looking at. We got to change from the inside out. And I'm talking about black men directly, nobody else, not women, not children, not the government, not the higher ups and elites, Nobody can stop us if we change. The man in the mirror. All right. So you already know, man. It's your boy Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You already know you can tap in, you can tap out. But you know my slogan. You do know what I suggest. And yeah, I suggest you tap in. Listen, man, I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight off the brick into the bottle. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoating nothing. We not dressing nothing up. I'm only here to give you this game. Straight raw, my G. Pure dope. No fentanyl, no baking soda, no quinine. We ain't water whipping this dope and we ain't counter whipping this dope. It's straight off the brick into the bottles. Yeah, this content is not stepped on. I know y'all miss me. I know y'all miss me. I know these YouTube streets been full with a bunch of BS since I've been gone. A whole bunch of baking soda, heavily stepped on content. Well, here, man, it's pure, straight off the brick. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no trap house in these YouTube algorithm that's pumping this type of dope. And if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing so you know when we going live. So you know when we having these conversations. And I could have came back into the algorithm and baited the algorithm. I could have came back into this algorithm and talked about some celebrity gossip or did this or did that, but I decided to keep it pure dope. I want the higher ups and the elites to understand that that shit don't scare us over here. It don't scare. The message is not going to change. The truth will remain. Hey, Scott, salute. Hey, I've been doing my due diligence. I've been doing my research, man, because, you know, I might step back into it. Like I said, I've been removed for over 5 years now. And what I'm noticing is if you really want to, you got to get like a medical card and do your due diligence from there. You know what I'm saying? The first step is to stop buying weed from dispensaries that are recreational and off the street. A lot of people got this confused. And salute to you, Scott. I saw that in the chat. A lot of people think because they buy from a dispensary that it's somehow different from the streets. And what I've learned is, and what I'm noticing is, a dispensary that is in a state that is recreational, that mean that shit is just like the streets. I mean, they make their own, they spray it down, they put it in their own bags, and they sell it to you. But when you in a state where it's only medicinal, it is only medical, right? That's a whole different lane, brother. That medical shit, that is a whole different lane. That is the top of the top, you know, it's just a different lane, you know what I mean? And you know, they have a responsibility to make sure it is a certain way because if you get your hands on it and and you know, somebody could be sued, somebody could be, you know, you could be, yeah. It's just like a pharmacy. You go in there to get vacuum, you go in there to get hydrocortisone, right? You go in there to get volumes for a toothache or a wisdom tooth that you got pulled out. And you go into that pharmacy and they give you a prescription with Percocets in it. And they give you the wrong prescription and you take those Percocets, you sue the hell out that company to, yeah, you get millions of dollars. It's the same way with that medical marijuana. You go in there and you say, I need something for anxiety, or I need something for anxiousness, or I need something to sleep. And they say, yeah, we got this cookie batch right here, this Gary Payton. It's 38% THC and blah, blah, blah. You getting exactly what you looking at. But when you go to a dispensary that is like in New York City, that's recreational. Yeah, you got gumbo, you got loud nose, you got all these weird ass goddamn weed brands, and yeah, this is honey bunches of oaks runts. You be like, honey bunches of oaks? Yeah, they sprayed it with honey bunches of oaks, terpenes all. Oh, yeah, smell just like honey buns. You be like, nigga, honey buns? Yeah, honey buns gelato. You be like, nigga, honey. Yeah, smell. So smoke it. Smell like honey buns. So Yeah, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in no rush. Like I said, the clarity that you get when you remove yourself from, again, for me, I'm an 80s baby. I came up with the Acapulco Gold, the Hydro, the Sour Diesel, the Dry Dank. I've been smoking weed since I was 17 years old. So for me to go 5 years, that's why I could tell you the clarity that it brings when you stop smoking. I guarantee you that nigga. Let me. And I like to use the homie as an example. Zip with the drip. Salute to Zip with the drip. If Zip with the drip stops smoking weed for 6 months, by the 7th month, he gonna cry like a baby, thinking about his grandmama, thinking about the shit he put himself through, and how his grandmama passed away while he was locked up. And RP to his grandmama, you know what I'm saying? But when I used to watch Zip, I used to be like, man, he smoke a lot. That nigga smoke a lot because this is a numbing mechanism. This is a situation where you are numbing yourself. This is a situation where you are medicating yourself, because as soon as you don't smoke that weed for 2 months, for 6 days, for 2 weeks, that nigga will be, man, that nigga will be a mess. He'll be a mess, and he had to go through all of the emotions that he's running from. And it's not just Zip, it's mad niggas like that in the world. It's a lot of us like that. One of the first things I had to do was not smoke weed. Yeah, that's the first thing I had to do. And once I did that and really got, that's why I'm not so fast to smoke weed. Like I could smoke, but I don't, nah. It ain't something I rather, I'm good with this. You feel me? Because I saw that in the chat. Yeah, salute. That medical weed though, those gut boy, that medical shit. Yeah. If I was to smoke, if I ever go back to smoking, I'm gonna get me a medical card. I'm gonna be a patient. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Think I need let me get the motherfucking yeah, yeah. Let me get that banana nut bread. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me get that Gary Payton. Yeah, OG kicks, exactly. When you know better, you do better. Um, Again, man, we can't even, bro. It's no way we can really elevate until that's done. That shit is so powerful, right? It'll take a couple of generations to really get that right. Our generation, right? This next generation that's right under us, they wilding out right now, right? That the next generation that had to be taught very young. It had to be very, very, very detailed into like making sure that they protected. They not going through the most trauma. They growing up with some wealth. They growing up with some financial literacy. They growing up with a lot of the things we didn't grow up with. You know what I'm saying? They not growing up in poverty. We got to make sure that they not growing up in poverty. They not growing up in the harshest environments of the ghetto. They're not growing up in such harsh environments. You know what I'm saying? So that it's less trauma. It's less damage. You know what I mean? But our generation, like looking at Alpha Mega, shit really like resonated with me. You know what I mean? And I'm lucky, man. I'm lucky. I can't lie. Like my mother, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? But my mother was way different than like a lot of niggas' mothers. My mom was not playing no games. My mom was very protective. I wasn't having sex at 12, 13 years old like everybody else. Bitch would have pulled her pants down in front of me at 12, 13 years old. I would have known. I would not have known what to do with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I promise you. Bitch. I was playing like football or bantam and tackle football and shit. Yeah. When I was 13, a lot of people was having sex. I wouldn't have been. Listen, Bill would have pulled her little panties down. I'd have been looking, I don't know what to do with that, man. My mama didn't play no games like that, and I had men around me too. But even with all that, you still our environment. Our environment is going to breed trauma. This life breeds trauma. There's no escaping trauma. There's no escaping unperfect people, people that are, flawed, situations that are flawed. It's no escaping it. As soon as you step outside your house, the environment is flawed. For a lot of us, the environment inside our house is flawed. For me, it was outside. Inside, I had a loving mom. I had, a man that I was able to emulate. I had, but you get older and you step outside, you become influenced by the environment. Here come the trauma. Here come the flaw. Here come the damage. And the longer you wait to address it, the worse it is. Salute to the chat. Yeah, man. You have to watch kids too. They'll turn your kids out if you're not watching. Yeah. It's deep. Imagine how deep it is with our age and the wisdom we've come to acquire, right? Knowing that a lot of the cartoons like SpongeBob SquarePants was weird cartoons. Like a lot of the things we were watching that we thought just were what they were actually weaponized against us. They were subconsciously desensitizing us. You know what I'm saying? Freddy Krueger, a pedophile. Nobody talks about the fact that Freddy Krueger was a fucking pedo that was doing what he was doing to all the little kids in the neighborhood. And the reason why he's burnt up is because the parents found out what he was into. They locked him in the basement. They lit the house on fire. That's not, nobody talks, nobody. So imagine the trauma you realize when you realize all the movies you used to watch were weaponized against you. All the cartoons, the fast food, everything we grew up loving, somehow, some way played against us. Yeah, look into that. He said, I did not know that. Look into that. Freddy Krueger he was the neighborhood pedo. That shit blew my mind when I found that out. Really made me rethink how I used to like watching Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. It was goddamn 30 of them motherfuckers. Nightmare on Elm Street 13. The Return of Freddy. I used to love that shit, man. I couldn't wait to watch Freddy Krueger. Yeah. Little kids go to sleep. He pop up in your dream, pop pussy in your head, kill your ass. Hmm. Yeah. Jason, right? Jason. Jason was a kid that was at Camp Crystal Lake, right? And his camp instructors, these young camp instructors were having intercourse, not paying attention to the children, and Jason drowned. Well, let's think about that. How many stories have we heard about the camp instructors violating the young campers? How many stories have we heard about the camp instructors doing whatever they're doing to the young campers? And in this particular story, the camp instructors were doing their thing. And it all ties, it's all nasty work. It's all nasty work. It's nothing wrong with talking about the dog first, nothing wrong with talking about the higher ups and the elites. But the most powerful message is when we talk about ourselves, is when we take our eyes off of everything else and everybody else and we address oneself. Fuck the higher ups and elites. Fuck all of that. F all of that. How do we change the reality that we are complaining about? I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No questions for the man in the mirror. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Damn. Mm, mm, mm. Hey, RP to MJ, ain't that powerful? You hear that shit as a grown man, you say, oh shit. Yeah, what? With that being said, man, you already know what time it is. It is your boy Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now listen, you can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan and you know what I suggest. And I suggest